Welcome back to ARC Tutorials. This is HTML full tutorial series for absolute beginners. In today's episode, we are going to learn all about HTML forms. Forms are a way to interact with the user on your website. It can be a contact us form, it can be a lead generation form, it can be anything that requires data input. Let's learn. The next 4 episodes are purely dedicated to HTML forms in order to help you learn and master HTML. This is part 22 of the series. Make sure that you have gone through the first 21 parts in order to learn and master HTML with me. Alright, let's talk about HTML forms. HTML forms are an extremely crucial element for user interaction on websites. There are various elements that goes into making a form. It can be an input field, it can be a text area, it can be a drop down, it can be a checkbox, it can be a radio button, it can be buttons, much more. The basic form structure will have the form tag. That's how you know that that's a form. That's how the browser knows that it's a form. What are some of the common aspects of it? The common aspects are inside the form you will have some fields or the data that you want to collect, and then you would submit that particular form in order to do some processing. Forms are made up of different input types. These types can be like text, password, email, checkboxes, radio, drop down, etc. Form layout and structure. We will group the form elements with field sets and legends. In most modern applications, we will be using a form control with label. We will also do the form validations, which means we need to check that the data was entered correctly based on certain attributes like required, pattern, etc. We can also style the forms as we would wish as per our requirement. That's an overview of forms for you. Forms also have accessibility, which means you can use tab to kind of navigate. You can add the area attributes. I talked about the form submission. Once the user enters the data, we would hit the submit button and that form will be submitted. There are different ways of how you can submit forms, either through reload of the page or using Ajax. We'll cover it as we progress, but don't worry about it now. There are advanced form features like say file uploads, date pickers, etc. So that's the theory that you should know about HTML forms. Now let's go ahead and start implementing this in Handson. Alright, I'll bring up the editor. We are in the HTML tutorial folder. I'll create a new file. I'm going to call it forms.html. Now if you know, every HTML will start with HTML tag. You will have a head section, you will have a body section. Right, I'm going to throw in a h1 tag and we are saying learning HTML forms. Now I told you the first thing about forms that you should know is that it will be wrapped in a form tag. Alright, that's the most basic thing that you should know. The form itself tells the browser that now whatever comes inside this is a form. Right, now let me show you how this looks so far and then we will keep adding to it. So if I open this, right click, open in any browser of your choice. So if I just add the HTML form tag, nothing happens. You don't see any output. The reason because this is empty right now. So just I'm going to add a simple type equal to text. Don't worry about these input types. I have a dedicated episode coming up where I'll cover all of this in detail. For now, what I've done, I've just added an input. So you can see an input box comes. You can start typing here. Right? Think of it like a login page, sign up page, contact us page, whatever, wherever you see that. Now you would have a label and you would say enter email address. So see, label is binded with the input tag. Usually we can group them together using a div. So this becomes your form control group. Right, so this div has label and input, so these two belong to one. Same way you can copy it and paste it multiple times. Say enter password. say enter email address. So if it's an email address, we can use email. We can use password as password. We can use text. So there are different types of inputs that I'm covering in the coming topic. So don't worry, just copy paste this for now. Alright, so you see now we have three fields. Each one has a label and an input text. Now just to give you an idea, I'm going to show you a radio button. It will be a radio button, right? Like you will have option like choose a male or female, etc., right? Premium or regular, normal, admin, etc. So this is one of the types. There are different types, don't worry about it. The important thing that you should know is that all the forms will start with form tag, have a closing form tag. They will also have, you can write div and also have input type equal to submit. So that way you're telling that you're submitting this form and have say submit form, right? So you can give a value here itself and you can appear make it inside the button itself. You will not need this. So you can see here submit form, right? So this is the most basic example of a form, but as we progress in this series, I will show you how to style each of them with a common code. We will add lot of different attributes for form. We will add lot of attributes for the input, and we will also style and do some form validations, right? That's all you should know in this episode. If you're learning, like I said, this is for absolute beginners. I hope this code is clear. This is the most basic code you can write for a form to learn. In the next episode, I want to cover the form attributes. What are the different form attributes that goes with form, right? And then we will start learning about the input elements. I'm taking it slow and easy for you. Please do let me know if you have any doubts. I'll be more than happy to help you. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for your support and love always. Thank you. See you in the next episode.